G'day battlers, and today we're going to be talking about Diggersby in the Labyrinth Cup and whether you really need to have like an XL level 50 Diggersby to compete, if you can kind of just run around with a level 40 Diggersby and get this same sort of result. So first off, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you can click that button right down there. We do so much Silph Arena content around here. And actually, speaking of, if you haven't already checked out my Labyrinth Cup meta simplified infographic, you can click that link up there to watch that first before this video, or you can watch it after. It'll be linked to the end of this video, so you can kind of check it out after if you'd like. It's also linked in the description, but yeah, let's jump into it. So Diggersby, whether you're running level 40 or the level 50 versions, you are going to have this same moveset of Mudshot as the quick move, Fire Punch and Earthquake. So Mudshot is just that really quick energy generation move. You're not doing much damage, you're just getting a lot of energy to get to your charge moves really quick. So with Fire Punch, you're getting to that pretty quick. Like, it's a pretty spammy move when you pair it with Mudshot, so you're getting a lot of Fire Punches off. And then Earthquake is that nuke move that, because you have Mudshot, you're actually able to get like maybe 2 or 3 Earthquakes in a certain matchup if they're not doing too much damage to you. Plus, Diggersby is just so bulky that he really can take a lot of hits before you get taken out, so you can keep getting those charge moves off. But yeah, they are going to run a little bit differently. So just really quickly looking at PvP Poke here, you can see that XL Diggersby is up at number 2 in the Labyrinth Cup PvP Poke rankings, and regular Diggersby, non-XL, is down at number 8. So there's obviously some amount of difference. So let's kind of dive into specifically what they actually do differently in this cup, and whether you really do want that number 2 as opposed to the number 8. Now, here are the 30 Pokemon that Kakuna Matata, the man behind PvP Poke, has put into the condensed Labyrinth Cup meta. So these are the kind of picks that he expects that you're going to see a lot of in this cup. Now, obviously there's room for change here. These are still very preliminary data, so there's going to be a lot of usage statistics that go into fuel this, and it'll change through the month. But these are kind of the early predictions as to what you're going to see in the cup. So first off, I thought it would be handy if we kind of whittle down some Pokemon that have no difference between normal Diggersby and level 50 Diggersby. So first off, these Pokemon are going to be beating both Diggersbys in all of the 0, 1, and 2 shield scenarios. So all the even sit shield scenarios, these Pokemon are going to be beating both. So your Abomasnow, Rainy Castform, Dugong, Drifloon, Lapras, Mandibuzz, Alolan Ninetales, Tropius, Venusaur, and Vigoroth. Doesn't really matter which Diggersby you have, you can have a level 40 Diggersby and you're still going to be losing to those guys. And similarly, these are all of the picks that both Diggersbys are actually going to be beating. So your Sunny Castform, Clefable, Galvantula, Lantern, Alolan Marowak, Melmetal, Ninetales, Registeel, Sableye, Snorlax, Stunfisk, and Swirless. You don't need a level 50 Diggersby to beat those Pokemon. Level 40 Diggersby is going to do exactly the same job. So now you might be going, okay, there's 7 picks left in this condensed meta out of the 30, so those are the Pokemon that XL Diggersby is going to be picking up instead. But we're not actually quite there yet. So these 2 picks here, Shadow Gardevoir and Skarmory, you might have picked up that the red and the green sort of areas were winning and losing all of the even shield scenarios. So Gardevoir and Skarmory just aren't that kind of aren't that easy. So Shadow Gardevoir is going to lose to both Diggersbys in the 0 and the 1 shield, but then I believe Gardevoir, or Shadow Gardevoir, is going to win in the 2 shield against both Diggersbys. I guess that's just because it's doing so much, charm damage, and Mudshot isn't really doing much damage to the Gardevoir, so we can just farm both down. Skarmory is actually a bit of an interesting one though, because the Sims actually make it seem like XL Diggersby is going to lose the 0 shield, whereas the normal Diggersby wins. But interestingly, the Sims actually make the XL Diggersby go for an Earthquake instead of going for 2 Fire Punches in the end. So if you just like go straight Fire Punch with both Diggersbys, they are going to still win in that 0 shield, so it doesn't really matter there. And then they are both winning in the 1 and the 2 shield, I believe. Now, I've already crossed out 25 out of the 30 Pokemon in this condensed meta that there's any difference between regular Diggersby and level 50 Diggersby. So you already might be thinking, okay, do I really need an XL Diggersby then? But it actually gets a little bit worse for XL Diggersby. Kind of insane here. You might have just assumed that these 5 Pokemon along the bottom are all better for XL Diggersby, but that isn't the case. So on this graphic, I've got normal Diggersby on the top and XL Diggersby on the bottom. The top row are the Pokemon that regular Diggersby actually has an edge over XL Diggersby, and the bottom row is what XL Diggersby actually can pick up in some certain shield matchups. So already, we've just lost 2 matchups from XL Diggersby, and there's only 3 where there's actually a benefit of running that XL. So first off, just looking at the ones that XL Diggersby actually does pick up, Jellicent, XL Diggersby is going to win the 0 shield and the 2 shield, whereas normal Diggersby is not able to get that. And that's basically just because the bubble and the bubble beam from Jellicent does 1 less damage, because XL Diggersby is a little bit more bulky, so Diggersby is able to just survive. And then in the 1 shield, they actually do both lose, but you have a little bit more play against Jellicent in the 0 and the 2. Obstagoon XL Diggersby is going to win the 0 shield, and then they actually both lose like the 1 shield and the 2 shield, but hey, the 0 shield, XL Diggersby can pick up that 0 shield, basically just because counter does 1 less damage, because he's that bit more bulky, and then also I believe Night Slash does 2 less damage, so, you know, again, just XL Diggersby, bit more bulky, taking a little bit less damage. Toxicroak is a similar story. XL Diggersby is going to be able to pick up the 1 and the 2 shield scenarios. The 0 shield scenario, both of them can win, but it's kind of an interesting thing. So the XL Diggersby is going to take 1 less damage from every counter, and then 2 less damage from every mud bomb. But then interestingly, because the non-XL Diggersby, the level 40 Diggersby, has a higher kind of attack stat, it actually does 1 extra damage with its mud shots, but it just doesn't add up in the end, and Toxicroak is able to take it out. Now moving on to these picks up the top that regular Diggersby is actually better against, I believe XL Diggersby is actually losing the 2 shield scenario, whereas the normal Diggersby has that matchup, and that's essentially because Fire Punch does 1 damage less, because XL Diggersby, even though it has a higher bulk, it has less attack stat, so it does less damage with the Fire Punches, and also does 2 less damage with the Earthquake, so that just lets regular Diggersby win out that matchup in the end in the 2 shield. I think they both lose in both the 0 and the 1 though, so it's not like Diggersby is any sort of Whiscash counter, it's just your regular Diggersby actually does have that matchup over XL Diggersby. And similarly onto Wigglytuff, XL Diggersby is losing the 0 shield scenario, whereas regular Diggersby is able to hold on to that 0 shield scenario, and then both of them are winning the 1 and the 2 shield. XL Diggersby, again, is just doing 1 less damage with Mudshot because of that lower attack stat. That kind of does tell you that it's a really close matchup, so it's, you know, there's a couple of HP in it if the Mudshot doing 1 less damage is going to flip it, but this is kind of where we're at. So basically, it's pretty clear that you do not need an XL Diggersby in this cup. It's not going to break anything. There are a lot of those matchups on the other page that you are doing a little bit better, a little bit worse, because, you know, you are having that extra bulk, so you might come out with a bit more HP. You might be able to get more charge moves off onto the next Pokemon. So there is a bit more argument to be made there for XL Diggersby. But just going into the like plain lead matchups here, it's kind of clear that you really don't need XL Diggersby at all. You can just run a level 40 Diggersby and you will just be fine. So yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially that subscribe one for all of the Silph Arena content coming out over the next month. Well, more than the next month. Hopefully I don't stop in the next month. The Labyrinth Cup content coming out in the next month. But thank you to my patrons, and supporters over on Twitch. I already have missed a name. I told Fish I was going to do it. Yeah, Fish and a Heater should be there because he gifted a sub in my community on a live stream that was less than 24 hours ago. So actually, if you want to go like follow on Twitch for future live streams, that'll be there as well. And yeah, here's the Labyrinth Cup videos if you want to watch them. They might change over time, so I should probably stop kind of cornering myself. In the last couple of videos, I've been saying like this video and this video are here, but that kind of, yeah, doesn't let me change it in the future. But good luck in your battles and keep on battling.